Hello and a warm welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has departed Abuja for Paris, France on a private visit en route to Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital. The president took off from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport this Wednesday afternoon. President Tinubu will in Addis Ababa join African leaders at the 46th Ordinary Session of the Executive Council and the 38th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the AU Heads of State, scheduled from February 12th to 16th, 2025. Presidential Advisor on Media and Public Communications, Sunday Dari, speaks about the significance of the president's participation at the summit.
You know that a Nigerian will become a commissioner in the on the Peace and Security Committee through consensus, and that is very critical for us. The AU Peace and Security Commission is critical, and having a Nigerian be a commissioner on that body is critical. It's also part of the gains of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's foreign initiatives and policies. Beyond that, we know that the position of the AFDB president is up. We have several countries that are lobbying. The Nigerian is there now. As he runs up, another person will have to go there. And we know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be one of the key presidents that will be sought out to determine who gets that position.
The president is also expected to play some roles as the chairman, ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States.
He has managed ECOWAS in the last 2 years as the chairman. You've seen the military coups that have occurred. You've seen what has come out of it. You've seen how he has managed it, even to the point of giving the three countries 6 months to rethink and reconnect with ECOWAS. Of course, we know that January 29th that expired. We know that the process of them leaving is almost concluded, but we also know of it through that one or two of these countries are trying to reach back and take advantage of that, of the 6 months window. And I think that at that AU summit in Addis Ababa, the chairman of ECOWAS will have an opportunity to brief the continental body. And of course, some of these countries too will be there. So there will be a lot of high-level meetings, a lot of bilateral meetings. So it's a very key meeting.
The president is scheduled to arrive at Addis Ababa early next week for the African Union Summit. And just before departing for Paris, President Bola Tinubu communicated the National Assembly requesting an increase to the 2025 budget currently under consideration by both chambers from 49 trillion to 54 trillion naira. The letter read at the commencement of plenary explained that the increase is to reflect additional revenue inflows from government-owned enterprises, among which are the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigeria Customs Service.
With this additional revenue, the 2025 appropriation bill's total budget size will increase from 49.7 trillion to 54.2 trillion naira, demonstrating our commitment to inclusive growth and security.
Meanwhile, Senator Ned Nwoko, representing Delta North, has, through a notice to the Senate, announced his defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Meanwhile, Senate has invoked provisions of Section 157 of the Constitution to terminate the appointment of 3 suspended resident electoral commissioners of INEC. The sacked commissioners are Nuru Ali, Hudu Yunusa Ari, and Professor Ikemefuna Chijioke, the Rex of Sokoto, Adamawa, and Abia states, respectively. And for some explanations on the amendments to the 2025 appropriation bill, let's now join Senate State House correspondent Musbah Wahab. Musbah, it's over to you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the changes to the 2025 appropriation bill before the National Assembly, increasing from 49 trillion naira to 54 trillion naira. We have the Minister of Budgets and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, to tell us about this development. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you and good afternoon.
Okay, what explanation do we have to this increment?
Well, you recall, Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted a 49.7 billion trillion naira budget to the combined National Assembly, and legislative work commenced. The legislative work continued with interactions between the executive and the National Assembly, and the National Assembly and the economic management team continue to interface and interrogate all figures. And in that process, both the Senate Committee on Appropriations, Senate Committee on National Planning, Senate Committee on Finance established that we can generate more revenue by tasking all the institutions to do more. And the Federal Inland Revenue Service confirmed their ability to do more than what was submitted. Equally, the government-owned enterprises were, it was established that they can contribute more revenue, as well as the custom service. So revenue, additional revenue amounting to over 4.5 trillion was established, and this was taken to His Excellency Mr. President, because the beauty of the National Assembly Executive Corporation is that it's a harmonious relationship. So Mr. President was briefed on this additional revenue, and he consulted and he guided that this additional revenue should be used to further strengthen the Bank of Agriculture, Bank of Industry, support the diversification by putting more money in the solid mineral sector, as well as projects under the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund.
All right, with these changes now, are there going to be any adjustment of the MTEF already in place?
Oh yes, the part of the submission and the National Assembly is always welcome, because we have earlier recall that even when the budget was submitted, the MTEF was amended, because the MTEF that was approved was for a lower lower budget of less than 49 trillion. So it goes together, and the National Assembly has always, particularly this additional revenue was established with participation with the National Assembly. So the consequential amendment to the MTEP will certainly follow.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you.
All right, Honorable Minister of Budgets and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, explaining the changes to the 2025 appropriation bill before the National Assembly. Is back to you.
Many thanks, Musbah. Now, the House of Representatives is set to investigate unsolicited linking of national identification numbers to subscribers' lines without their consent by telecom service providers. Adopting a motion of urgent public importance, the House notes that legitimate NIN holders are being exposed to criminal activities due to unauthorized linking of their NIN to unknown phone numbers. Lawmakers describe the trend as a violation of the right to privacy while calling for the protection of personal data of every Nigerian as guaranteed in the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023 and the Nigeria Data Protection Regulation of 2019.
Potential risk and consequences of this unauthorized data linking includes identity theft, financial fraud, and other forms of cybercrime that have become rife in Nigeria lately. The House is further aware that innocent citizens have been wrongly implicated in crimes. They suffer reputational damage, harassment, and legal challenges for crimes they know nothing about. This House resolves to urge the Nigerian Communications Commission to investigate these reports and take immediate actions against any telecom service provider found to be culpable in this practice.
In other resolutions, the House urged security agencies to flush out bandits still carrying out criminal activities in parts of the country.
Urge the Nigerian police and other security agencies to liaise with local vigilantes and the likes to embark on a holistic combing of forests in all parts of Nigeria to forestall the hibernation and continued presence of bandits and herdsmen in their hideouts.
That the CDS directs the quick establishment of forward operating bases in the troubled areas of Kauru local government. That the IG directs the deployment of more police officers and outposts in the local government to aid in preventing criminality.
The House mandated its committees on police affairs, army and interior to ensure legislative compliance with the resolutions and reports back in 4 weeks. President Bola Tinubu has directed the armed forces, security and intelligence agencies to harmonize their operations and adopt a whole-of-society approach combating the nation's emerging security challenges. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the president's message was delivered by the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, at the ongoing Joint Task Force Commanders Conference in Abuja.
Serving and former service chiefs, heads of security and intelligence agencies, retired military commanders at the 2025 Joint Task Force Commanders Conference organized by the Defense Headquarters in Abuja. The gathering is a periodic avenue to review ongoing operations in different theaters and develop enhanced strategic guidelines to improve combat capabilities in addressing evolving security threats.
This forum is expedient and timely, especially at this time where the security landscape is dynamic and constantly evolving. Such a landscape undoubtedly requires us to harmonize our efforts and evolve proactive and innovative measures that can decisively address the security threats we are facing today.
As it is, no one organization,
to the Chief of Defense Staff, the nation's emerging security challenges are indigenous and stress the need for homegrown solutions.
Evolving threats such as the employment of armed drones, transnational crimes, and the proliferation of improvised explosive devices demand innovative and adaptive responses. This conference is therefore an opportunity to critically examine these challenges and develop actionable strategies to address them. We must leverage technology, enhance intelligence sharing, and strengthen interagency cooperation to stay ahead of these threats.
The guest lecturer, the 14th Chief of Defense Staff, harps on the whole society approach in countering terrorism.
It is already well established that countering insurgency and its associated acts of terror hardly succeeds using force alone.
I'll commend Mr. President for increasing the resources for 2025 budget year for the armed forces and other security agencies.
Funding for structure, situation in the Sahel region, and logistics are among issues raised at the event. The conference, third in the series, is focusing on enhancing jointness among security and intelligence agencies. From the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, has directed immediate and comprehensive investigation into allegations of criminal activities within the Okere Correctional Center in Warri, Delta State. In a statement, the minister strongly condemns the alleged reprehensible behavior and emphasizes that any form of indiscipline and misconduct will be met with severe consequences. Tunji Ojo reiterates his commitment to upholding the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and accountability in the administration of justice within correctional service system. The minister calls on the public to provide any relevant information that may aid in the investigation, Recall that a recent media report allegedly linked inmates of the Okere Correctional Center to an armed robbery incident in Benin City, Edo State. The unveiling of the Anambra Homeland Security Law 2025 and launch of a special security operation codenamed Udogachi, residents say, marks a significant turning point in the state's fight against crime. To criminals, it is a clear warning that Anambra State is no longer a haven for illicit activities. However, observers say there is need for proper monitoring and supervision of the team to forestall any form of abuse. Chinyere Fesi Okoye reports.
The inauguration of Operation Peace shall reign with 200 vehicles and more than 2,000 personnel dedicated to combating crime in the state is aimed at fighting insecurity and make the state safe place for citizens.
People will be scary now as these people are moving up and down. As I was coming from my area, I saw so many of them written in their vehicle, written Udogachi.
Without security, you are doing nothing. So it is that people will leave. Everything will be going on. Security is a nice something.
The Agune Chamber or Udogachi, approach to security matters in Anambra State is welcome, provided it is carried out or executed in accordance with, the salutary mandates of the law.
With great expectations that the new security outfit will live up to people's expectations, it is worthy to note that the Operation Udogachi personnel are drawn from the Nigerian Army, the Police, Navy, DSS, Civil Defense, Special Forces, and the Agune Chamber, the state structured security outfit created with the Homeland Security Law to complement existing law enforcement agencies in preventing crime. In Awka, Chinyere Fesi Okoye, NTA News.
And Chinyere joins us live now to tell us more about the new security outfit. Hello, Chinyere. If you can hear me, tell us any significant achievement so far with the new security outfit?
Former and welcome to Awka. Certainly, since the inauguration of the Operation Udogachi on January 18, 2025, the residents have heaved sigh of relief in the state because they instantly swung into action. They began to clamp down on criminal elements in various parts of the state since the day they were inaugurated. They've gone to nook and crannies of the state hunting for criminal elements, and they have demolished a lot of structures, kidnappers' den. And this operation we are talking about is being led by the Deputy Governor of Anambra State. Just yesterday, the team were at Nnewi, Uruagu Nnewi and the Nnewishi to be precise, where they clamped down on some criminal hideouts and demolished some structures that are purported to be kidnappers' den. And the truth of the matter is that the people of Anambra State are building their confidence once more on security architecture in the state with the inauguration of these security outfits.
Okay, Chinyere, tell us, what exactly are the residents, saying about the new security outfits?
It is also worthy of note that on the inauguration of this, the governor announced that all the 10 top local government areas with records of criminal activities, that records zero criminal activity in 1 month will get a bonus of 10 million naira, while any person, a whistleblower, that will give information, useful information that will help to lead to the arrest of a criminal, a kidnapper, or any criminal element in anywhere in the state will also get a bonus of 5 million naira. Aside that, an amnesty is also given to kidnappers, drug dealers, or cultists that will come out to submit their weapons and register themselves in the office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Security. And this opportunity is open till 28th of February, 2025.
Indeed, Chinyere, for that update. Thank you. Now, united by unique, the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, NAOA, has launched a strategic operation against cancer, mobilizing troops of compassion and care in a series of events at the Naowa Event Center, Mambila Barracks, Abuja, to mark World Cancer Day. Defense correspondent Naja Atutijani reports.
Sharing her cancer survival story, Chioma demonstrates the warrior spirit which Naowa wants Nigerians to adopt in the face of cancer and other challenges. It is a battle cry of hope and resilience, says Naowa President Mernan Oluyede.
So Naowa works to raise awareness about this disease, because early intervention, early detection of this disease can indeed offer opportunities for treatment.
Well, it might not be common knowledge to know that a cancer patient needs in excess of 1 million every month for treatment, and about 15 million naira for a complete treatment cycle. The types of cancer prevalent amongst women, it's your day, have been touched on here.
Naowa also deploys its arsenal of awareness, education, and support to combat the scourge of cancer with a panel of experts from the National Hospital, including some of its members.
I want to urge you all to take charge of your health. Cancer affects us all, directly or indirectly, but with knowledge, awareness, and proactive care, we can reduce our risk. Get screened regularly, because early detection saves lives.
Standing united in the fight for a cancer-free world, Naowa, through the programs and activities, including a fashion show, reaffirms that women are survivors and are united by unique, the theme of World Cancer Day. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Still talking health, the global target of reducing cholera deaths by 90% by 2029 and eliminating the disease in Nigeria by 2030 gets a new guideline as the federal government launches a 5-year national strategic plan of action on cholera control in the country. Oluseyi Adiagbo reports that Nigeria is employing a One Health approach to strengthen national coordination and also make governments at the sub-nationals prioritize cholera response.
Nigeria has been embracing new trends with health experts constantly on their toes, mitigating the spread of waterborne diseases, especially cholera, which is prevalent in about 30 states and the Federal Capital Territory. This National Strategic Plan of Action on Cholera is the latest commitment which highlights 9 pillars on optimizing limited resources to achieve significant public health outcomes.
The National Strategic Plan for Cholera Control in Nigeria, therefore, represents our commitment to protecting the health of our citizens.
I urge all stakeholders, including government MDS, civil society, and local communities to deliberately develop ownership of the plan and remain dedicated to ensuring its successful execution.
The National Strategic Plan of Action on Cholera Control is a call for action.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC 2024 Cholera Epidemiological Summary showed more than 24,000 cases with over 200 fatalities recorded. In Abuja, Oluseyi Adiagbo, NTA.
The federal government is unlocking new multilateral resources for the development of Nigeria's children as President Bola Tinubu mobilizes significant new domestic capital into the Child Nutrition Fund. Here are the details.
This move by President Bola Tinubu, the coordinating minister of Health and Social Welfare, says is unlocking additional funding from the World Bank and integrating nutritional support into the federal government's National Medical Relief Program.
My principal, the president, put health and well-being of Nigerians at the center of his renewed hope vision for this country. and decided that we should invest, we should put in our resources. Of course, we are limited in terms of the resources relative to multiple challenges that we are facing. But even within those limits, to do our part, and then whoever it is that chips in to help us, we appreciate.
The minister also acknowledges the significant contributions of key global partners and many other philanthropists, highlighting their role in funding and implementing nutrition programs which address child stunting, wasting, and micronutrient deficiencies across the nation.
Thank you for putting in the 1.2 billion naira from the federal government, as well as 11 to 15 states have put in money, and so the progress there, which we're delighted with.
The key issue for us is one of what is intermediate, and that's financing. And then the long term is self-sustainability.
Professor Alipate further emphasizes that this collaboration between the federal government and donors will help ensure that millions of Nigerian children receive adequate nutrition, leading to improved cognitive and physical development, which will improve the future of Nigeria's economy.
Paying critical attention to abdominal pains and changes in bowel habits, medical experts at a symposium on oncology care say will go a long way in reducing the number of deaths that occur from colorectal and colon cancers. Elizabeth Omoriu brings us details of the eye-opening event on cancer prevention and management.
Nations strengthen advocacy on cancer for 2025. Colon and colorectal cancers took center stage at this symposium. These types of cancers, medical experts say, can exhibit similar symptoms which may not appear until the disease advances. They are complex diseases that involve multiple genetic and environmental factors such as family history, genetic syndromes and mutations, diet, physical inability, obesity, and smoking.
You will see many cancer patients, when they are diagnosed of cancer, their major problem is usually not the cancer, but where will I get the fund to take care of this? What we are doing is to stimulate action, to bring in policymakers, do research, get cancer survivors to share their stories so that policymakers will look at this as a problem.
Common symptoms include blood in stool, fatigue, bloating and gas. Oncology care, which captures cancer treatment, medical experts say requires a multifaceted approach to reduce deaths from cancer.
I'm urging the government to subsidize cancer drugs for us. It's very expensive.
The government is committed to mobilizing more resources to improve cancer prevention, early detection, and treatment in addition to its already established National Cancer Health Fund. I urge you, take charge of your health. Get informed, get screened, get vaccinated.
At the symposium, a movie of survivors of colon and colorectal cancers was premiered. The theme of this year's awareness is United by Unique. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
And our first stop on Nationwide today is our Lagos Network Center, where Adiola will be telling us about the federal government's initiative to promote digital inclusion. Hello, Diola. It's over to you. Lagos Network Center.
Nigeria's digital economic drive is gaining more mileage with an initiative for Nigeria to accelerate broadband penetration by 70% before the end of year 2025 by the National Broadband Alliance. Joel Popola reports that the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy says the initiative will guarantee high-speed internet access and boost foreign direct investment into the country.
High-speed internet access is a major enabler of digital economy and part of the gains of the launch of the National Broadband Alliance for Nigeria, which is a multi-stakeholder platform that ensures government, businesses and key partners are on the same page, is redoubling the digital inclusion drive. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, represented by Executive Vice Chairman of NCC, Aminu Meida, says the collective goals of the initiative is to increase investment in broadband to 300 to 500% and achieve 80% coverage by 2027.
Special purpose vehicle approved by the Federal Executive Council. We are leveraging grants and investments to deploy 90,000 kilometers of backbone fiber across Nigeria. This effort aims to connect even the most underserved communities.
The NCC is working to address all encumbrances such as lack of awareness, power supply, and underutilization of broadband.
We will create an economically viable model for broadband adoption. This aggregation of demand will unlock untapped capacity and also drive down costs, enhance affordability, and stimulate widespread adoption.
NIGCOMSAT, Nigeria Data Protection Commission, and other critical partners have all perfected strategies to ensure success of the initiative.
What we want is an inclusive digital economy. That these things just don't happen in Lagos and Calabar. They happen in Zamfara, in Sokoto. Wherever the tourist or the economy want to be enabled should happen.
Edo, Ogun, Kwara, Katsina, Imo, Abia, Borno, and Nasarawa states have been selected for the pilot phase, having addressed right-of-way issues. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Nigeria stands to gain a lot from being a member of African Continental Free Trade Area. This was the opinion of players and experts in the trade, economic and financial sectors while reacting to trade integration and Nigerian economic growth. Bolaji Akim completes the report.
Adoption of African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement in March 2018 by 55 countries of the African Union and 8 regional economic communities is the best thing to have happened to the African continent. The aim is to boost trade by removing all trade barriers between the countries involved and create common policies for easy movement of goods and services with a large domestic market and abundant natural resources. Coupled with the increase in digital economy, Nigeria has a lot to benefit from the agreement.
We now have competitive advantages. It is what you have. The quantum of what you have will determine how you dictate the play. We have land, we have labor, I'm talking about population, we have capital, I'm talking about what we realize from our God-given gift. We have entrepreneurship.
Despite the huge deposit of natural resources and large domestic markets in the country, key players in the African Continental Free Trade Area are of the opinion that the country still has untapped advantages in the agreement.
Consistency in policies are major problems. No business can thrive in a situation of uncertainty. We need to go to backward integration.
When you export, you earn a foreign exchange for the country. You benefit from that because you also can use your own foreign exchange for your imports.
Stakeholders are of the opinion that providing information on import regulations and trade partners by government will go a long way in revenue generation and job creation. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Bill Kisu in just after this break.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang is urging the new GOC and Commander Operation Safe Haven to work towards returning Plateau State to its pre-crisis status to accelerate the pace of development. This was while receiving the GOC at the Government House, Jos. Indiang Andia Bagyang has more.
Receiving the new GOC, Governor Caleb Mutfwang expressed delight over the prevailing peace on the plateau, courtesy of the former GOC, Major General Abdusalam Abubakar, and other security agencies. He urged him to step up efforts and consolidate on the achievements of his predecessor in ensuring stability within the joint operations area of Plateau and its neighboring states.
On our part as government, we have tried to create a enabling environment for our communities to live together in harmony. And so we want to pray that your sojourn here on the plateau will lead us to that uhuru, that we can simply close this chapter of our lives and move on to a new chapter that is already beginning to unfold.
The new GOC and Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Folusho Oyinola, pledged to be fair to all but firm in his decisions.
I will maintain an open-door policy and ensure that things are done the right way. We must draw a line somewhere and put all our bygones behind us and ensure that Plateau is all safe.
He assures the governor of sustained efforts towards peace in Plateau State, in Jos, in Nigerian and the Abuja. NTA News.
Participants at the Jos concluded training on information management at the NTA TV College Jos say they are better positioned to manage information for the success of government policies and programs. Again, Indian and Abuja has details.
Seated here are information officers from the North Central Zone who went through the basic components of managing information. They described the training as impactful, noting that it has broadened their knowledge on how best to carry out their functions effectively using modern technology.
They have taught us so much in this program. The usual way that we used to do things, we'll have to improve on our way of reporting.
It's the first of its kind. We have never had such opportunities. We're going to use the knowledge gained here wisely.
The bottom line of this training is to equip the participants with the wherewithal to put in place a communication system that will help the federal government get the required feedback from the people.
The rector, NTA Television College, represented, says information officers play a vital role in shaping government agenda, hence the need for this training. She asked the participants to step down the knowledge acquired in their respective offices for smooth running of government business.
We have a lot to contribute, not just to the ministry itself, but to the growth and development of Nigeria as a nation.
The training, which had effective communication skills, information management, and public relations as its theme, attracted participants from Kwara, Nasarawa, Benue, Plateau, and Kogi State. In Jos, Nigerian and the Abuja. NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. Nationwide continues with Ifoma in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Lukiso. Now, the governing All Progressives Congress, APC, has pledged to deploy all necessary assets of the party to ensure a free, fair, credible and transparent governorship primary in Anambra State come April 2025. This pledge was made when the national chairman received in audience the national executive members of APC booth to booth for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
The National Secretariat of the governing party played host to APC Boot to Boot, one of the political groups that traversed the country to drum up support for the president in 2023 general elections. The group also crisscrossed the length and breadth of the country to distribute palliatives to vulnerable Nigerians at the peak of the fuel subsidy removal and other economic policies aimed at economic recovery and growth. And this visit is to request to the National Working Committee of the party to provide a level playing ground during the Anambra governorship primary billed for April 2025.
And with the caliber of people that have indicated interest in that election, we believe that if a credible primary is conducted and it is clear to everybody that a winner emerged through a credible process, if they all work together, victory should be ours.
Anambra should assist in providing conducive atmosphere for peaceful election. And as a party, Also, I said, major stakeholders, if we are to have a good primary and good election in a number of states, all our stakeholders must be born again.
The national chairman also received delegation from Bishop Mighty Kuka Center, led by Reverend Father Atabar Kindo, where they appreciated the national chairman for his continued support to the center. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
The African Democratic Congress, ADC, says it is poised to strengthen organs of the party and build internal democracy so as to strengthen governance in the country. Chairman of the party, Ralph Mosu, said this at a breakfast meeting of the party at its headquarters in Abuja. The party, he says, acknowledges challenges its members at the helm of affairs are faced, and the meeting is to find ways of proffering suggestions on the need to tackle these challenges.
In Nigeria, 90% of the persons who are in leadership are either Christians or Muslims. Therefore, it's better to premise the leadership development process based on the principles and the principles available for us. Just to show that every leadership, as you can hear, requires vision, vision of where are you going. When you're contesting for election to be governor, when you're contesting for election to be senator, when you're contesting for election to be any local government chairman, what's your vision? So this is it well articulated.
The theme, networking opportunities and principles for strategic leadership and growth, the party's executive had an insightful and thought-provoking session that addresses some of the most pressing issues currently faced by the party. Let's now join Kemi in our Ibadan Network Center for more on Nationwide. Hello, Kemi.
Informa and welcome to Ibadan. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has underscored the urgent need to involve youths in agriculture to sustain the nation's drive for food sufficiency. The First Lady stated these at the Renewed Hope Initiative Youth Agricultural Support Program held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Blessing Oji, who was at the event, now reports.
This program, which is aimed at ensuring and promoting a better life for families, with special focus on empowering young farmers while driving agricultural growth and development across Nigeria. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, who is represented by wife of Oyo State Governor Tamuno Minini Makinde, highlighted the importance of initiating programs encouraging young Nigerians to become farmers despite urbanization challenges. She stated that agriculture had always been the backbone of Nigeria's economy and could be revived and scaled up.
We want to catch them young. We want them to have interest in agriculture. We want them to have that interest from now, so that when the old ones are leaving the stage, the new ones will be there.
Some of the young farmers applauded the efforts and commitments of the First Lady in improving agricultural productivity.
Gaining experience about how to plant the tomato and my farming equipment I complete before. But with this, I have more equipment, I have more technology to engage my farm business that will make it easier for me.
We want to appreciate her for this great privilege that she has given to the youth of Oyo State.
The initiative included training the young farmers in modern farming techniques and technology to combat climate change and promote sustainability. In Ibadan, Blessing Oji, NTA News.
In Osun State, young creative minds now have a new home to bring their ideas to life, as Governor Ademola Adeleke has created a hub designed to empower filmmakers, musicians, fashion designers, and digital storytellers. Femi Afayogun reports on the Osun Creative Conference held at the SDG Skill Acquisition Center, Iragbiji, in Osun State.
A new era of creativity is unfolding in Osun State with this conference for young minds and the launch of Osun Content Creation Studio. The goal is to harness the state's rich cultural heritage, from the UNESCO-listed Osun Grove to famous festivals like Olojo, Shangoede, and turn creativity into a driving force for economic growth.
Creativity and innovation are critical to building a sustainable future, and Osun State is ready to lead this charge.
For young people in Osun State, the program is a launchpad for dreams to come true.
The best way we can tap these resources is to bring everybody in the same room so we can start this conversation. How can we collaborate? How can we work together to put Osun on the map as the global cultural custodian?
This is the first subnational conference that is linking our creative economy to the achievement of the SDGs, and there are huge potentials that are happening.
With support from the federal government, the initiative aligns with Nigeria's push to foster innovation and youth empowerment. In Osogbo, Femi Afayogun, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Benin is our next stop on Nationwide with Obehi as our guide, but that will be after this break. Do stay with us.
Of Nigeria warns vandals of national assets, electricity transmission towers, cables, and other facilities to desist from this act of.
Thanks for staying tuned. I'm afraid we won't be able. Okay, let's now hand over to our Benin Network Center.
Welcome to Benin. A new governing council has been inaugurated for the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, which has Chief Dan Obi as its chairman. Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo charged the newly inaugurated council to discharge its duties in the fear of God and for the progress of the state-owned institution. Good luck, Enaini reports.
The members are Chief Dan Obi as chairman, Professor Friday Okonofua, member, Professor Steve Iyayi, member, and Lukman Modi, member. Others are Professor Jeremiah Waifo, member, Professor Eric Kelly Omogbai, member, and Professor Mori Osaho, member. Governor Okpebholo charged the 7-member governing council of the institution to restore the institution's lost glory through dedication and selfless service.
Education is the bedrock of development, and Ambrose Ali University holds a special place in the history of Edo State. The institution has produced some of the finest minds in Nigeria.
Chairman of the council and chieftains of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Chief Dan Obi, expressed gratitude for the opportunity to contribute their quota in repositioning the school, describing the steps taken to rescue the institution by the state government as timely.
You know, I don't belong to the same party with the governor. But what today's event has shown is that in the interest of the development of the university, the governor has put forward a very strong to turn the fortunes of the university.
The exercise is coming few days after the governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, secured the induction for 128 medical graduates of the institution who have had their induction delayed since August 2024 after spending 10 years in medical school due to some lingering crisis. In Benin, good luck, Enaini, NTA News.
Science shows that days of rest are required for the muscles to relax and heal after little tears are created during workouts, a process known as hypertrophy. Now, given the economic situation in the country that has paved way for Nigerians to multiply their sources of income, how often do Nigerians rest? Elizabeth Omoko in this report examines the value of rest and explores why it is essential for adequate mental health.
I have a lot of things I do on a daily basis, both day and night. So for me to be able to meet up.
The struggle for what to bring to the table is real, especially with the cost of food staples, house rent, school fees, and medical bills staring at the face. This is evident in the hustle and bustle on the streets as people go about their daily struggles, both day and night, without little or no rest.
Even though there is pressure of work, to have some rest. If you think you are impressing anybody by, jumping here and there, at the end of the day, it won't help you.
Stories of how people slumped at business and workplaces abound, and this respondent ties into overbearing employers who believes in glorifying overworking. Dr. Bisi Iheye is a medical doctor. She speaks on why rest is essential to mental health.
One eats healthy diet, then drink plenty of water to rehydrate yourself. And then make sure you sleep well.
With this simple advice to help Nigerians recharge and reset their mental health, experts say the mental health of every Nigerian is in their hands, irrespective of societal downturn. In Benin, Elizabeth Omoko, NTA News.
And that's it on Nationwide. From Benin, it continues in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Owehi. But that's it on Nationwide for today. We thank you for being part of it. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Bye for now.